They have been consistently dominating on this map, and I'm excited to see what FPX actually have to try and face off against them.
Yeah, when we talk about the lineups going through changes, obviously FPX have had a bunch of changes even over the last couple of weeks, between Angel not being able to field and now Artis having to take a back seat. Obviously, we're looking at Artis to take up the majority of the likes of a Jett, but now the Shao can return. We can see him on this Jett looking to try and take some heads. For now, FPX are taking a lot of pressure in towards this B site, but G2 haven't pushed past the choke point. They've really fought for this opening bit of control, but curious that they're slowing down afterwards, just waiting for the repeats, I suppose. And that hasn't gone their way to start with, but a good recovery by AvovA, and even more by Hoody.
And now we get into the same sort of afterplan which we've witnessed for a while. Angel going to try and counter a little bit, but that shot dart's not landed anywhere near the plant. Maybe hoping to catch someone a little bit further back, but he will be denied. Now the screen is already down on the other side of the map for the defense, so getting back into this is actually going to be relatively difficult. Angel trying to clear some of those close angles, but everyone's fallen back.
Oh, nice shot by Angel, though. He'll take down Hoody easily with the second bullet. Although not so easy to deal with AvovA. Down eventually, but the corner not checked. Nukkye snuck away. And with 29...
Point, you do just expect them to rotate, like play these early defaults, watch to try and catch any aggression, which is one of the main ways that teams actually defend on this map, is try and take map control away. And then after they get that opener, they're just incredibly good at then going back to their standardized execute on the A site. So it's really difficult for teams to actually play against. And in terms of like overall innovation, other than like bringing in the odd chamber here and there, there's not been a massive amount of changes still to the way teams are actually playing this map.
G2 are coming in with a couple of weird rounds, though, right? The way they play the pistol is very similar to what we're seeing here on the second round. They're playing inside B main, they're fighting for the control on range, they're holding their flanks with just like one player in a turret, and then late executing into the site. Now, obviously, they're up against weaker weapons here, and they're doing a great job of avoiding being taken down. You know, even when Shao finds that kill, there are 3 players who are spraying at him immediately. So, chance of him getting out for free is practically non-existent.
Player standing.
Overall, this is a really well-handled anti-eco so far by G2.
Yeah, the main thing now, though, is that they don't lose anyone else, because they've invested really heavily into rifles. So you're looking at 2 Phantoms in a round which normally, well, you don't have anything to play with. Instead, SUYGETSU, he drops another. Now, it is only the Marshal that's gone, and obviously for himself
pretty significantly. I think so far, no contact outside of A is likely to... Yeah, it's likely to have FPX get aggressive on A and start to take that control. And I want to see what did G2 have planned for that, because we've got the turret watching for the A push, and then AvovA's been like lurking on the ramp or the boxes, or even just here we saw him push up mid to throw the orb. Then he goes back. There's always someone watching mid and keeping an eye on it. But for the most part, they haven't been looking to catch any flank play. It's like they're not expecting FPX to push. This round, there's the adjustment, is that Nukkye's gone to A and he's looking for that aggression. He's looking for that same response. And this is really interesting because G2, they're showing FPX, hey, we're doing the same thing, guys. We're looking to go towards B. We're putting our util down. But I think they actually saw Nukkye. I think the knife caught him. I heard the little ding and they knew that he had to cross back. They've caught him. And so the plan of G2, the wide net that they cast out, well, it's caught nothing.
Yeah, and this push onto the B side has failed miserably as well. Like, SUYGETSU managing to get a couple of kills here is huge. And baddyG has already found Hoody, who was completely trapped within the site. It was a round again.
This control on B, someone's going to come up A, they're going to push through, and I'm going to be able to catch them, get a free kill, and open the round completely. Instead, that knife comes through, and it gives the information, hey, there's a lot of players B, we know that, and there's only one outside A. They push mid, they catch him, easy kill, lose your initiator, lose your late round lurk that they had the orb down for him to get under tunnel. Like, that round could have been in the bag if they don't spot Nukkye. It's absolutely huge, and all it is just, you know, a free ability.
But this time, they're not even leaving a lurk. They're just going straight in. It's because of the Viper's Pit. They got the wall combining with it. And again, I feel like at this point, FPX are still just going, okay, but they're not going to continue to just directly push. The spam, though, has actually been able to deny any sort of spike plant. So with all of the extra utility, that wall is likely to fade. And, well, going for any sort of plant now has huge risks behind it.
This is going to be really, really tough. I mean, they probably have to push into them, right? To take this control is so difficult. find any sort of angle where a plant is going to be safe. The spams are coming through. Nukkye's not afraid, though. He's stepping up close. He knows that player shortly going to be out of ammunition, and there it is. Now's his time to strike, but Zyppan catches him. AvovA as well. And Meddo and Mixwell have to clutch it. A disadvantage stacked against them. They've got no flank ability here. They've got to just take the fights, and the information is there to play with as well. FPX know exactly where these players are, or where this player is now, with Meddo being the last alive and the defuse already going underway. There's nothing that he can do except try to carry this rifle through to the next round.
Well, job of just denying that sort of standard take. Like, it's something that a lot of teams are going to prepare for. You have all your lineups for. And well, now it seems like we're finally going to get into a little bit more of the bread and butter of this map, at least, because as said, like, going into this map, I expect G2 to lean quite heavily into this A site. They've been excellent at these sort of takes. Problem now, Mitch, though, is weaponry's not great.
Yeah, that's obviously going to put a few spanners in the works. You got to come in here and hope that Meddo's going to open up a couple of these duels. So far, though, no one's given him the opportunity. No one's taking those peeks. Turtle play on site. Zyppan goes down right away. Shao in trouble, just 2 HP. He's going to try his best, but man, he's caught on top of that wall as well. Really makes things difficult. For FPX, you've lost a lot of players here. Unless you're able to catch a pick quickly, you might consider saving. But Angel going down, while SUYGETSU has a really tough choice to make.
Yeah, he's going to try and give this one a go. Has some extra credits to play with, but again, the trade's just so good. And this is the reality: is you should be winning it a little bit more comfortably, or a lot more. You should be winning it at all.
Yeah, exactly. That should be a pretty clean round coming out of the defensive side instead. Well, they got completely ruined. And I guess it's really unfortunate when you look at how they wanted to approach that round. They went for a lot of close range angles and, hoping to be able to have Zyppan get a kill. And then Shao swings in and helps him out. And they have a great time. But they did that up against pistols. And, not always the best idea to give pistols close range and the ability to overwhelm you. Things have gone well for G2. They picked up a third round. Now they're looking to do a little bit more. Same old setup. It's changing a little bit in terms of where the utility's placed. Oh, okay.
Oh, I like the swing. Oh, they're so wary about the second player. And actually, Shao's still getting opportunities to take fights off here. The only worry is AvovA, but I don't think he knows that Zyppan's here. The same could be said the other way around, though. He's managed to get so much control, but baddyG is going to check for it. Zyppan now makes his swing and gives them a 2-man advantage.
Really nicely played, Shao. Unable to land the shot with the operator, but it might not matter. Still through to take down for Hoody even after that kill, and a flank underway confirms the round for FPX. Everybody doing their plan to deal with him, and I'm looking at Mixwell because he hasn't bought a weapon and he's got his ulti ready.
Let's play.
Had a little bit of a quiet start, but again, like, one of the things that can be so difficult with this A site is you are relying on someone like Shao to almost just take these more aggressive battles. Like, you have a little bit of utility trying to get him to almost play around it. He does manage to get them the opener. Killjoy lockdown coming into play, but ultimately, with that first kill already going in their direction, FPX don't need to overextend here. They can try and play for the retake.
It was a good job by Shao to tuck in. He avoided being spotted by the drones, so they weren't really ready for him to be there. And even as they jiggle peeked, it's just a great shot hit. Now he's going to pop out that blade storm. He says, you know what, Mixwell, you use your ult, fine. He's going to do the same. AvovA, what a flash. He's blinded up like crazy, still alive. Gets the reload off, but then SUYGETSU takes him down. That spike needs to be defused, and they've got the cover to do it. Mixwell has to dash on in. The steps are enough to pull them off, and for now, he's already taken one, and another landed, and it's the round in.
Giving so much opportunity for him to take a couple of extra shots, and wow, this is the thing, like, we've seen it so many times. G2 get into an afterplant. Sure, the rounds are close. Sure, teams battle back, but they're so good at playing from those sort of scenarios, even when they didn't have utility.
Oh, great tag. I think that might even be a return on it. Looked like Angel might have been hit by the Hunter's Fury third tag, but no, even popped his own to try and return it over. Despite a little bit of early damage, it's done nothing to stop G2 from moving forward. These guys are still looking to take this site. They've got their wall down, their Viper wall at least, and now here comes the Sage on the left side, you'd imagine. Viper's pit quite deep, actually, to get them a fair bit of control. A good kill on the Zyppan. I mean, this is fantastic for the attack to play with.
And I'm curious if they'll actually plant within it. A lot of the times you see teams still try and have that more open plant. This could create quite an awkward scenario. In fact, they managed to spam AvovA down, and because of that, it left the spike purely in the open. Still going to be left into a 3v3 scenario. No flanking coming. In fact, I almost wonder now if some of the defenders have started to wonder if they're going back in a different direction. Instead, though, no, they're going for the res.
And the res almost serves as a bait, pulling the players into the open, allowing baddyG to take the kill before going down. Things are getting a little bit awkward here with nukkye stepping up. Meddo has to do the same. He's gone in for the kill, but the shots won't land. 4-4.
Viper's pit is dissipated, unfortunately, and I'm left looking a bit like a fool. But yeah, that's one of the things that FPX have actually impressed me with quite a lot so far, is that I don't know if this is them spamming in tandem, but they seem to be very good at lining up players and exactly where they're going to be. And why, if you're relying, we've seen a couple of times now, you've relied on a Viper's pit in a round and you've lost that round. That's happened twice to G2.
So far as well, you know, it's such an early stage. It's almost weird to see it happen that often. Within the first 8 rounds, we're coming into the final stretch of this. And, you know, take a look at the economy. G2, absolutely nothing to play with. No surprise that they're grouped up outside A and going to look to probably blitz into the site.
Watching here.
See what control they can take.
Out of charges.
I guess
They're
the
going
problem
to win this, aren't they?
It's the close play from Zyppan, man. It's making me worry a little bit, but he's falling back.
Oh, the flash is so good from Zyppan. It's going to come out with a couple, but then they actually overswing it. Angel goes down to the pistol, the headhunter doing its job. Now, they still haven't managed to clear Shao from this backline, and the rotation's already come through from baddyG to sort of stack things up a little bit. The other problem as well for G2 is the clock. Like, with these players still here, no rotation really available. They have to just try and fight into Mixwell. He's got his 3rd kill of the round, though. This is just the pistol invested. A few hundred credits put into this round, and they've managed to do so much damage with it and even bring it into contention. Shao trying to bait out that sound a little bit, and because of that, they don't expect him to be here, and that'll be enough to close things out. But it probably shouldn't have been anywhere near as close, again, with what was invested.
Oh, definitely. I don't think it's unfair to highlight that. This round was looking like it would be a lot cleaner for FPX, and even the dangers that they had. You've got Shao playing up on the rafters, so he's able to dash out. Not that much of a worry. Zyppan up close. Now, against pistols, not great. Against weaker weapons, not great, but he did have a Spectre to play with as well, and that excellent flash that he popped through, that gave him everything to work with. Those 2 opening kills. Now look at how bad the round is, because
things have gone, because they haven't crumbled even after having some slip up rounds here and there. Still though, I don't think G2 are particularly worried. As we've already seen again, they are good at both sides of this map at this point. It definitely isn't anywhere near as just attacker friendly as it used to be.
Yeah, they also got the pistol, right? So these buy rounds have been back and forth a little bit. They had the leg up of the pistol as well. So for G2, they can definitely look forward positively, but I'd also say that they got to win this round. You know, if you lose out, looking at it from G2's perspective, being so strong on the attack, they lose this round, it's 7 to FPX already, and that's way better than we would have expected of them on the defense.
True.
Starting things out here. So definitely an important round for G2 to take home. We're going to see them move, not surprisingly, towards the A side. It's the lurk that I'm looking at in the hands of AvovA. He's managed to sneak his way all the way up mid, and I think his timing is just right to come up behind them.
I'm enjoying seeing Shao just back on that Jett, although there is that catch. It's only 1 though. The trade not too bad. Angel also wins the duel versus Meddo, and now nukkye, oh, he's not got that timing right. He's being spotted from all different angles, being spammed through the screen as well. I don't even think he knows where he's even taking damage from at this point, and all the information is going to be there. Still manages to kill off Angel, but no clutches today. I think
one of the concerns really now, G2, they invest a decent bit into this round. I want to see them get...
That is bold.
Jeez. He stuck around a long time. You hear that old pop as well.
He wanted the
Wow. Expensive orb indeed. Now we got that lockdown coming into play. Full site control for G2. Yeah, they invested a little bit. They sprinkled in some cash. They kept money for the next round, though. That was the intention. But with 2 ultimates, they've got site control and a man advantage to play with. And now, look at what this operator can do. A tour de force, trying to get that little bit of extra damage, but now canceled out.
Luckily, still had a rifle. Just hiding behind the box. Hasn't really been spotted, but Shao is going to check the corner. Up and above he goes, just clearing out every player in his way. Headshots galore, and I don't think a stinger works like that. I know he's only got 1 kill, but that was
a lot of teams, but the success rate feels alarmingly high for FPX so far. Oh my god, he's going for it again!
He's got no fear, and he's actually been tagged because of it. Is this going to be Angel dead once again? No, he's danced his way out. In fact, it's actually Shao. Oh, sorry, Zyppan that takes the second connection. I don't know if he got... I don't think he did get away with the orb. That would have actually put his Hunter's Fury online, so this time there's slightly more reason to go for it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same reason as last round, right? That he needed the orb to build towards it if he wanted to have it in the half.
Run mid.
Got a lot of pressure from G2 on this side. They were waiting for FPX to swing on in, and once that wall went down, exactly what happened. Oh! SUYGETSU's found a free kill. They're right back into this one now. Viper's Pit's online. If SUYGETSU can get control of the site, get that little bit closer. Already taking down a Nano Swarm, and what a shot! Nukkye completely beheaded, and Mixwell meets the same fate. SUYGETSU's on a tear, and there's the Viper's Pit going down. Meddo is going to be caught quickly by Shao, and the round goes to FPX, closing out a defensive half of ICEBOX 8-4 against G2. And G2, who won the pistol round.
You are now seeing why.
Yeah. Back in the day, back in beta, the Shao show was something that we just love to see. And even when he picked up your Sova, he was still dealing the damage. But this guy, he's just too clean. Why would you nerf him? Now, I obviously understand when there's so many players on this team that can pick up that mantle, especially artists. But, man, it's good to see Shao getting the work done. Plant coming through for FPX, and another kill as well. This is looking like a convincing pistol for the attackers. G2 are going to have to do a damn good job of retaking.
Yeah, I don't even know if there is a way back into this. They're standing out in the open just as almost like a layered defensive this site. I don't even know if they're going to get a kill at this point. nukkye is trying to fight back, and whoa, he'll get 1. That is all. FPX.
Look at this roster. It just amazes me with the constant shifts that they've gone under. Like, how much do you think they've practiced with this 5-man? You know what I mean? How many days? With this exact 5-man? 5. Maybe 6. You know, how many days has Artist been ill? That's how many days.
Are you including the match that they played?
Yes.
Okay,
I am. That's a practice.
Maybe that's an extra day. That's practice.
Yeah, it's absolute. There's the barrel. Oh. We can see the barrel, Mixwell.
Oh.
Did anyone see the barrel, guys? Obviously, they're a little bit preoccupied. This could be day. Stop looking up. Stop looking up. You can see your barrel.
Hey, sometimes you just don't realize how big it is.
You can see it's just sticking up the top, dude. It's so big. No one saw it, though. You know what? It's fair play.
No one clipped that out of context. I just don't want you to do that. Don't clip it out of context. But either way, not much to defend this A site. A couple of rotations already coming through. Mixwell, he's on the flank. He wants a headshot here. Well, he's going to get it in the end. SUYGETSU falls, but Shao is very quick to trade. And this actually leaves the B site completely open, but, well, that's not really knowledge that is currently there for FPX.
30 seconds left.
Oh, they're going to grab the kills anyways. I mean, just the weaponry advantage that they've got to play with makes it so tough. Or does it? I mean, they're making it look easy on the defensive side. Rushing back in. baddyG, though, does a good job picking up 1. nukkye, frenzy in hand. baddyG's low, though. Never mind. 10 rounds on the board for FPX. It's a little close.
But let's put it this way. When he stops standing in, if he doesn't get picked up by a team, I am going to be ashamed of our scene.
I'll tell you what, if FPX have signed him as a stand-in as well, they're just rubbing their hands together. They've already got... That phone's ringing right now. It's just like zeros getting added on every day. It's just been so huge. Zyppan's down right away, though, so we're going to need a hero for FPX to step it up. Pistol in the hands of Angel. Lots of disadvantages to play with. And hoodie's only good for the 1. Plant might at least be secured, but they're looking to take baddyG down right afterwards. Good punish by Angel, but they'll be dealt with as well. And this is just really nicely played by G2. Pretty much every engagement they go into, again, they're able to trade. They're catching off these FPX players as they're, you know, trading out map control for their lives, essentially. Well handled to put a 5th on the board. That was a round that they needed to look that good.
If you can isolate Mixwell, every single bit of that falls apart because all of his utility is on that side of the map. So It'll be interesting to see how is actually played by FPX, if they're going to try and put pressure on that side, or if they're just going to look to try and wipe out the rest of the players who, at the moment at least, Mitch, seem to be trying to aggress into mid.
I think G2 can count themselves lucky that I think Shao might have sneezed. He missed that shot on mid, and he burned up his dash as well. Early round, starting out pretty well for G2 in that sense, because they should be a man down.
Yeah, again, you're going to start to see the drone look to clear out some of these positions, and this is where those two middle players will end up leaning in to support Mixwell. That's it. Like, if you can isolate him at some point, this becomes a lot more difficult, but because they're playing so heavily into mid, the rotations are now here to support.
The shot not landed by Hoodie. The recon through to the back. It's not going to pop any of them in time. Mixwell's already gone down. G2 they revealed up themselves. In fact, that's a little bit awkward. You can see like just the complete void of any information. They're worried about flanks coming through. It's costing them a lot of time. Then this wall goes up to slow them down even further, just for a moment, because they want to keep it up so they've got the poison orb, obviously, to play with afterwards. The snake bite post plant that they've got. You know, when you look at that, it's no surprise that G2 are falling back to save this. There's just too little time to really weed all of these players out of the positions that they found themselves into. But with 11 on the board for FPX, Tom, this is starting to look very scary in a map that I think pretty much everybody expected to be dominantly in favor of G2, regardless of who can earlier, right? What are the real advantages of winning, right? And we were talking about it. You get your 40,000 euro instead of 30,000, so 10K plus. You got your top seed at Masters 1. That's actually more important than you might realize.
Yeah,
people at home will
really
think, well, you might not play against some good teams or whatever, and that is obviously the main takeaway. From what I understand, you also get like a week at home, right? And actually, you are seeded deeper into the bracket, so you actually don't need to play
and you watch
as
the other
early
teams
at Masters, which means you get to practice at home in comfort or in your boot camp or wherever it is, but you have the choice. And you get more time to watch the other teams and stuff. So Seed 1 is actually insanely valuable.
The other
and
thing as well, you're going to watch all of your opponents, like, basically probably use the comps that they're then going to try and use against you. So you can literally just sit there and go, well, that could be tough. Let's come up with something to deal with that. And then they have a day to try and fix their issues while going into a team that they haven't seen. Like, it's very, very tough.
Yeah. Yep, and it's huge. Even Mixwell himself was tweeting about it today. He said how obviously they'll make it deeper into the brackets, and he said that he finds the narrative to be a nonsense narrative, that, you know, seeding matches aren't important. It's something we've said for a long time, that, you know, teams, I will say earlier on, back in beta, seeding matches were completely pointless, and you saw it in the way teams were like knifing each other and stuff. Oh, that plant should have come down long ago. That is a big delay coming in from G2. They break the wall and they destroy them. Really nicely handled.
Yeah, FPX playing an Encran slightly switch up where they're planting, so they're less likely to get shot while being spammed. But if you don't get that plant down, the round's basically over and it becomes a scramble. And, well, again, that's why you see a lot of teams lead into this A site quite a bit more.
Ahead.
No surprise, that's where FPX are starting to lean towards. This operator on Shao still looking to pick somebody up, but look at how passive this G2 setup is. I mean, it is very rare to see a team play this far back. They're waiting for that knife to come in, playing in afterwards. The turret's already going to be destroyed. And there's the ulti to cancel out any of the remaining utility. Very nicely handled. Now G2, they played far back. They've given the control, but now they can't use their utility, and they are being rolled on. FPX steaming forward with Meddo falling. It's left to Mixwell to 1v5 clutch this. He's got an op, and he's got his ult. But he's not really feeling it on this one. And you know what, Tom? I think that makes sense. Really valuable, though, if he saves this weapon. Means they've got 2 ops in the next round with his ulti.
Yeah, I think one of the things that G2 are actually struggling with right now is that a lot of their A-site defense really revolves around a lot of that utility. Like, you have Meddo a lot of the time playing contact off his turret. Okay, well, null command comes in, you have no turret. Seconds later, you have the screen and the orb, which is normally meant to give you some favorable angles or force players to try and push through it. Oh, sorry, you don't have those anymore because of the null command. And it's the same, like, okay, Hoodie wants to put out a slow. sorry, Hoodie, you can't put out a slow. So then it just comes down to those moments where you see like AvovA just sat in the open trying to spray down 2 people, and it's like, that's a lot less of...
It's huge, and the utility itself, the flashes that we've seen come through on A. I mean, Zyppan's just using his entire belt perfectly. And with 12-6 on the board, there are 6 chances for FPX to close this out. But that's going to be a little bit of a wrench, a little bit of spatter in the works right away. Shao's down. And Hoodie's almost following. That could have been a little bit awkward on the crossover. Good shot by Mixwell, but it's traded out.
Yeah, the main danger of this round already diminished. Like that's the thing. Like Mixwell can only do so much, finding 2 kills, but basically at the value of 1. And well, you can see again, they're going to try and go for the same after plant. The spam is going through, but this time baddyG will get it down. And actually, it's Hoodie who falls instead.
Lockdown coming into play. How much space is that really going to get G2 here, though?
Nothing. He destroyed it. He destroyed it. He threw in the fragment. You're talking about utility coming out of Zyppan. It just obliterated it. This man is playing an incredible game with utility. Yeah. I think, did he just kill the player through the corner of the wall? Now Zyppan left, but it's all going to be onto SUYGETSU. Nukkye. Oh, he's not quite going to connect the shot.